Before I go to the next screen swash plate setup, I want to clarify a point here that if fiberglass is turned off, these parameters input will not be available because you will adjust this from your radio or TX. If I'm going to stay off for a moment, $5, and go to the swash plate, you will notice that I have aileron, elevator, and pitch mix control, just like in your TX. This is because fly bar setup, regular fly bar setup was chosen. Now if I go back to $5 and turn it back on, go back to the swash plate, you will see that elevator and aileron and elevator will not have any input required. That's because you adjust separately for the angle, and H1 will automatically adjust that. You will have the pitch rate and roll rate to make how you prefer on the speed wise. But you do have the pitch, the collective over here for your maximum and the minimum collective. Okay, going back to the front here, here are the different swash plate design according to your helicopter manufacturer. You see here it changes the linkage setup. H1, H3. Here I got a little slow here, and in my application I am using HR3 with the elevator servo on the back. So pick your own configuration that suits your application. Over here really is that you can reverse the direction of the servo. Just like you set up your regular 5-bar or $5 mechanical setup in your radio, but you can choose the reverse direction here. And these readings are the center stick in reference to your radio and to H1 controller. So remember that if you are in $5, this won't be there. You don't have input in the fly bar. The input will appear here again. Tail gyro to me is pretty much straightforward. Everybody set up the helicopters before will pretty much understand how this works. You got the reverse or normal direction, and you choose whether you're using digital servo or analog servo, and the centering of the servo. You find that in your menu, your servo menu. Here's the limit. You can slice it more than 100%. I find that, in my setup, 100% was just perfect. So this is pretty simple, straightforward. So now getting to engine. This has some misunderstanding in our previous version. Most people will fly engine gas or nitro, and most likely they use governor mode on that. A lot of questions were raised about how to set up max, idle, and stop on the throttle for electric user. Well, really it is that, the set max is your, top stick, full stick, 100%. And what I do is that I put ID idle. We don't have really idle. I just put it on the lower stick position, and I use my throttle hold to get to the stop. I set up my radio minus 5% for my throttle hold, and that's takes care of the confusion here. For governor mode, for gas. Simply, that is the scenario. If the stick position is wrong, you won't see a green circle here. You see a big cross, an X in red. So again, this is pretty straightforward. To me, the next screen here, TX monitor, to me is something that threw me off at the very beginning. Currently, I only have a 7-channel minimum radio. And I have only, my auxiliary channel only has a 2-position, not a 3-position switch. What I found interesting, or taking me a little more time, is to adjust the trim on that assigned channel. And by adjusting the trim, you will see there's a bar here. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. It will go up and down until you reach, menu or in GPS or auto mode. In this new software, new firmware, we have added another feature. I don't know if you can read it. I have GPS attitude mode and attitude mode only. And then we have a GPS cruise mode and GPS attitude mode. So in fact, we have 3, not really 4 here: GPS attitude, attitude, and GPS cruise. So what it matters is that when you are into a situation after takeoff and the GPS signal is kind of weak, or you're losing satellite, when the system trying to hunt for signal, it's not a pleasant sight or pleasant feeling. So it allows you to, in an area where the GPS signal is not really good or not, you can just pick this attitude and without GPS support, in a sense. Anyway, the new firmware within 10 seconds, with the low GPS signal or the loss of GPS signal, it will automatically default to attitude mode. So this is a really important feature. What I'm trying to do is that the next thing is to go through my adjustment, and hopefully, you guys can see the bar moving here to go through this.